A PhD is a big undertaking, one that someone needs to take very, very seriously, and you need to meticulously plan to embark on one before you actually sign up for one. So one of the tips, some of the tips I would give include: one, you need to ask yourself hard whether you actually need one. It's not something that you go and do for fun, just to get the feeling that I have a PhD. You need to ask yourself, are you in the right space, industry where a PhD is required? Are you in academia? Are you in the research space? You need to be sure that your PhD is going to be used. If you're not in that kind of space, then you possibly need to reconsider. The other thing that is very key when it comes to PhD is choice of the institution that you want to go to. This is very key. Some universities have a reputation of holding students for a very long time. You can go there with a plan of doing it in 3 years. 3 becomes 5, 5 becomes 7. It's also not uncommon that 3 years become 10 years. So the choice of a university is very, very important. Choose a university where there is good support system so that you can hit your target of 3, 4, 5 years. If you're not very cautious about that, you can be very, very frustrated. The third bit that I would give is the choice of a supervisor. You need to do your homework around the performance of the supervisor that's assigned to you, or one that you're planning to work under. If the supervisor doesn't have a solid reputation of supporting students and getting the output out in terms of publication, then I would strongly recommend that you don't sign up for that PhD. Be sure that the person you're going to work with supports students and has a track record of students actually completing in regular time, because you don't want to get in there and you get stuck with someone who is unsure about what to do, or they're not interested in students. They have so much going on in their lives and so on. So that is a very important point that one needs to consider. The fourth point that I really stress also is the aspect of funding. Funding is a big deal when it comes to a PhD. I know it's very difficult to get one before you have enrolled, but you need to think strategically where you're going to get funding for your PhD. You don't want to burn your salary or your earning on this PhD, and then you'll be wondering, why did I even use that money? So you need to think hard, where am I going to get the sources of funding to pay the tuition and meet my research costs? There are lots of travels that happen in a PhD. Who is going to pay for that? So you need to think critical around that. If you're not sure about your funding source, I would strongly suggest that you pause your plan to enroll for a PhD until you figure that out. My fifth point, which is very important, is that if you have a family, you need to plan together with your family so that they know that this is a very, very lonely journey, one that takes a lot of time. In fact, it's a very obsessive, compulsive undertaking, one that makes everything fades into irrelevance. So it's not uncommon that when you go in there, the family really takes the back seat and this thing becomes the thing. So you want to have your partner and your family on board so that they understand what you're going through, because you will be doing this for the family. And if they're on board with you, I think everything can go well. So for me, those are my top 5 tips. There are lots of things that happen in there, and you just meet them and overcome them as they come. So Dan, thank you so much for that question.